that perhaps there would be 400. And the town board became concerned and decided to move the public hearing to the fairgrounds to accommodate the large number of citizens. We had collected over 1,900 names on a petition and had over 5,000 donated flyers to distribute. We called on our children and they rallied their friends and started a bicycle brigade that hit every household in Rhinebeck with a flyer which encouraged people to attend the public hearing. We worked furiously to be prepared for the hearing, doing our research, calling other municipalities, talking to public officials where Doug Palermo had said he developed projects. I remember calling Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Palermo had bragged of his major development there. He said he had a big hotel and a residential complex. They knew the name. Nothing had been developed. He had come and gone. The big evening arrived. We met at the fairgrounds. The building was hot and people began filling the large open space. More and more people arrived. There was lots of excitement in the building. Fairground helpers began setting up bleachers. We could hear the clanging of chairs being carried in, and the people kept coming. We looked out onto a sea of people, and the building was full. Some 900 Rhinebeck citizens had turned out to defend their community. It was a precious and magical sight. The hearing began with Bill Allen, the town supervisor, setting the rules. People were given 5 minutes to speak. No one can continue past the gong or they would be removed. Everything had been well rehearsed. The supervisor then asked those that supported the Palermo project to please stand, and the room got very quiet. 10 people stood. They were seated in the second row. It was Doug Palermo, his engineer, architect, PR person, and a couple of other staff, and then 2 local attorneys and their spouses. There was dead silence. The supervisor then asked those that opposed the project to please stand, and there was an eruption of moving chairs. The remaining 880 people stood and applauded. Of course, it took lots of time for the supervisor to regain control of the hearing. Then lines began to form. Speaker after speaker expressed their concern for losing all that was precious to them, losing their sense of place and the community they loved. Some statements were very technical, hitting on zoning violations and environmental constraints, and others spoke from the heart about the pride for their community and the threat to their quality of life. It was a very intellectual, inspirational, and emotional experience, creating one of those memories that last a lifetime. 1 hour, then 2 hours, then halfway into the third, a storm erupted. Rain pounded the metal roof of our building so hard that speakers could no longer be heard. There were still lines of people waiting to speak. The supervisor was forced to close the hearing, and it would be continued 1 month later in September. About 400 to 500 people returned to the second hearing, and the pattern of championing the cause to deny approval repeated over and over and over again. We then waited patiently for 3 months for the town board to make their decision and continued to pressure them. We attended all the local meetings. We remained vigilant and the center of intense controversy. The local papers noted that while Douglass Palermo called us the 4 hysterical ladies, others referred to us as Rhinebeck's 4 fighting ladies. And then 11 months after Douglass Palermo came to town, the town board was ready to take a vote. It was a December board meeting. 75 people attended. We sat quietly through the routine agenda. Then Supervisor Allen read through a lengthy resolution listing 26 reasons for its motion to deny approval of the Palermo 800-unit residential proposal. It was a 5-0 vote that was greeted with laughter and applause. And I learned tonight that Herman Tejan wrote that resolution. Following the vote, the supervisor announced the resignation of the planning board chairman and another member of the planning board. We 4 fighting ladies were exhausted, exhilarated, and extremely grateful to the community for hearing our message and supporting our cause. The press had also been very helpful and supportive. Little did we know that the Palermo proposal was just the beginning of a very long journey in public life for each of us.